Ramon Riley, artist, which is a very broad term.
Yes.
But does that do it? Does that cover you? Does it say artist?
I think there's nothing better to be than an artist. So
I'm looking at your business card.
Yeah.
And it's an image.
Yes.
So pictures do speak louder than words.
Yes. I'm proud to be an artist. I think the thing about me is that, you know, the art is not necessarily the object that goes on the wall. It's the way you see the world. And so I enjoy, you know, the world as an artist does. So when I'm at a party or, you know, just walking down the street, I'm seeing the world through a creative eye and a sense of beauty and passion. And so artist is fine.
You do have a creative aura about you. I can feel the creativity. Like if I saw you walking down the street, I'm like, that guy does something. You know, I can. You know.
Well, you know, the best is when I go to a show and you know, there's a band performing and people assume I'm in the band, and it's like, no, I'm just
close.
in the audience.
I have a different medium in which I exercise my talent. Your expression tends to be involve a very particular region of Pittsburgh.
Yes.
And that is Braddock.
Absolutely. Well, I'm born and raised in Braddock, or I was born and raised in Braddock. And for this body of work, I have spent the last, I guess, year and a half studying my hometown with fresh eyes.
So let's be Rick Seaback for a bit and give me the history of historic Braddock.
Yeah.
What is historical about Braddock? Driving in today, I saw all the signs welcoming me to historic Braddock.
Right. Well, the first steel mill in the United States is right there.
And it's still here.
And it's still here.
And that was
still
the
functioning.
first.
The first in the United States. And the first Carnegie Library in the United States is just down the street.
Okay.
Now, the thing that I really love telling people is, you know, we think about, you know, the American dream and how many immigrants came to this country to pursue their dreams. They came to Braddock because they were pursuing that work, that opportunity. And so, you know, it is a rich history. And the thing that people don't know about Braddock too is it used to be the downtown Pittsburgh of Pittsburgh.
Wow.
You know, it was the happening spot. You know, there was, you know, so many stores and, you know, shopping and all this, you know, stuff down the streets, and it all led to this steel mill and homes going up the hill. So, I mean, everything was happening here. I came to an exhibition here at Unsmoke Systems Art Space, and there was an exhibit on the second floor. And from the second floor, the water tower of the steel mill just hits you, you know, and I had never seen it that way before. So I contacted the owner of the building and I said, do you mind if I get on your roof? And he said, absolutely, get on the roof. You know, and I went up there and I got a chance to see Braddock in a different scope.
And how long ago was that?
That was just about a year and a half ago.
So was it around that time that you started depicting Braddock in your artwork?
Absolutely, yeah. I think prior to that I was, prior to that I was a children's book author and illustrator.
Really?
Yes.
What's one of the names of your children's book?
Well, not published, but Man, I Hate Living in the Big City with My Mama.
Why is that not published? I would read that. And there seems to be a lot happening here. There's a resurgence.
Yes.
A lot of new businesses are starting here. I think on the way in I saw a couple new breweries happening. So Braddock's alive.
Yeah, the brew gentlemen down the street, they are actually going to be here for my show.
Oh, great.
Yeah, so they're going to be quenching some thirsts for my exhibition. And they're wonderful. They're excellent.
Beer and art. That's all you need. You know, I mean some other things too, but that's a start. Let's say that anyhow.
Yeah.
So your work, and I've seen quite a bit of it. I mean, just my layman's description of it. You take what I think some would consider a typical scenic, maybe portrait, or an industrial landscape, and add an abstract element to it, colors sort of overlapping it. But the scenes are primarily from Braddock.
Right.
And then it has this wild and beautiful abstract element, layered on top of it. So talk to me about the synthesis of those two art forms, really.
I pour paint. which means I mix a bunch of color and add a ton of water, buckets of water. And I lay out the paper and I don't think about anything. And I just, pour paint and I let what is going to happen with color happen. And so.
And is that the first piece of your process?
That's the first piece of the process.
Okay, so it's not the industrial drawing or artwork that comes first. It's the paint.
I'm a lot like a lot of people when they approach art. A blank page scares me. That white paper is very intimidating. So I get rid of it by adding color over top. And I don't know what's going to happen, and sometimes the colors blend in a way I could never have predicted, and they settle in a particular area. And as they're drying, which sometimes takes a week, I'm looking at it and evaluating, which way is this going to be a landscape? Is this the sky? Is this the ground? It's fun too. It's physical. Usually I lay out a ton of paper in a room, as big as I can find. So I'm running around the room. I'm moving and I'm interacting with and a couple of times, the water will settle in a particular way and I'll slip and fall into the.
Well, that would be a good one. I want to see that piece of artwork where there's your body print laying in it.
So I guess really the first part of the process is that I do have these photographs. Mm-hmm. So as I'm looking at this poured image, I'm evaluating the abstraction, and I'm imagining, which photograph would go good with this abstraction?
Your photographs of the town of Braddock.
Correct.
So we are here in the Unsmoke Systems art space.
Yes.
In Braddock, right on the main road, where you will be having your exhibition, which will be March 27th and 28th. Just 2 nights to see this here.
Just 2 nights to see it here, and then it moves to the Braddock Carnegie Library, where you can see it during the library hours too.
Very good. Yeah. And 6 to 8 p.m. on both of those days.
The work represents the grant that I have been funded by the Advancing Black Arts in Pittsburgh program, which is a partnership with the Pittsburgh Foundation and the Heinz Endowments. So that allowed me to really dive into this work and provide the beautiful framing and really put on something that's bigger than a normal art exhibition. We have a lot that's going to be happening March 27th and 28th.
What's the greatest compliment you feel that you've received on your work?
I think the greatest compliment is when people come back.
To see it again.
To see it again. These pieces are fairly large, and I have to remind myself of that because when you start to try to put them in a car, you realize no, these are pretty big. I do have to say though, for the last couple of weeks, before I was finishing the work for this show, I was kind of locked away. Slide some food under the door, leave me alone. Well, I have a gift for you. Can I give a gift?
Oh, you absolutely can. Are you kidding?
Well, I wanted to give this to you. This is a picture from the Rankin Bridge of Braddock. And so for my pieces, I took a walk from the Westinghouse Bridge to the Rankin Bridge, and this was the very last photograph that was taken to inspire the painting.
And look, our Burgh Vivant logo on there, drawn by the artist himself.